Hi, friends. So, an interesting thought that comes up so commonly, I think of it as a base core way of thinking that leads so often to kind of compulsive improvement and certainly off balance eating. And it is the thought, I need to have a different body. My body needs to show up differently. My body needs to lose weight. My body needs to be pain free. My body needs to look better, younger, older, taller, thinner, stronger, bigger, different. I need to not have it looking like this, and I do need to have it looking like that over there. Notice in the imagination how we see the better version body. And we'll bump into it in reality. Oh, look at that. Look at that on the movie screen. Look at that on the street. Look at that in the restaurant. Look at that in this meeting that I'm at. That is a good body over there. That's the better body, not this one. Constant comparing, busyness, then an effort to improve this. Since I see the lacking, terrible, bad body here that needs improvement, and it might not even be that terrible, it might just be a little bit bad, I will make an effort and concentrate and focus and search and hunt down the answer to improving this body. And I will not stop until I find the improved place, the answer, the thing that will help. Not that there's anything wrong with researching and trying things and all the amazing things that I've done that address body issues or any kind of issues. What happens when you believe, though, this body should appear differently, should show up differently in this world? How do you react? You notice how stressful it is. At least it sure has been for me. It's like a clutching or a gripping. And if it's weight loss that we want, it needs to appear thinner and healthier and tighter and firmer and small and whatever, then the number needs to be lower. We imagine what will happen if that occurs. I could see that I'll be favored and I'll be comfortable and I'll be safe and I'll have approval and I won't be rejected. I'll avoid rejection and I won't condemn. People will be drawn to me. You just see all the favorable things that happen with this improved body and all the bad things that happen with a body that's not the way it should be. And all the intense concentration on how to get that body from the way it should be from the way it is into the way it should be. I mean, hunting down people in the Eating Peace method program right now have done a little work with that, or sometimes a lot of work with it in the mind, and noticing the research that occurs, heading to the internet, to find the newest, latest answer. Almost like you can't stop. It's so compelling. I need to research this. I'm going to get a book on this. I'm going to go do this thing here. That's what I need. That's what's missing. It can be anything, like this gripping focus on the perfect body, the best body possible for this one, the one that I need to have, that I'm sure is possible for me. This could happen in anything, not just a body, right? I needed to be looking like this. I need to behave this certain way. I need to not alienate people. I need to not reject. I need to be, appearing in a certain manner so that I get the same things that I believe that good body would give me. Safety, security, acceptance, belonging. The same thing as when somebody's focus or clutching is enlightenment is what I want. Enlightenment is going to give me this dream of whatever enlightenment is, which is an idea. When it's done in this particular way, it's like an idea in the head. I'm going to have this approval by God, universe, reality. I will be at peace. I will be acceptable. And notice that it's all happening later in the future. I'm going to have to do this work, and get to this later place. Well, then I will reach my goal, as people say. I'm going to reach my goal at that time. So this might hurt right now, but it's getting me to my goal. So I might suffer and feel pain and hardship and difficulty, and then I will get someplace. Such a funny balance, because it does seem like life can appear that way, that you want to run a marathon, and you begin training and you do all you need to do, and then eventually you run the marathon. And that is what happens, looks like, But just to see that it doesn't, there'll be this sense of feeling that it doesn't matter how I feel today or what's happening today or where I am emotionally. Just double down, buckle down, focus, nose to the grindstone, do everything you can to meet that goal. And we don't care if it's suffering or not. Angry. How do I react when I believe the thought, I need this to be different? And in this case, we've entered this inquiry with, I need the body to be different. How do I react when I believe the thought? It's all over the place. There are visions and pictures and ideas, and it's aggressive, and then it's hopeless, and then there's resignation, and then there's renewed hope, and then there's sadness, and there's disappointment, and then there's continued renewed hope again, and then there's excitement, and then there's I'm getting there, and just everything, all the weather patterns in between. So to ask this question 4 in the work of Byron Katie, we were looking at that in conversation with the Eating Peace students yesterday. Who would I be without my story? It is a mind-blowing question. Without a story, without thoughts, without ideas, without believing them. Okay that they're there, because try to stop a thought. There it is. Without calling that the truth. Who would I be without the belief? My body needs to be different. We'll think like, my God, what are you talking about here? If I don't have that thought, I will eat so much food I'll turn into a whale. I'll go into the bar and I'll drink everything in sight. I'll do whatever I want. I'll destroy myself somehow. I won't know what's up or down or right or wrong. I won't focus on the right path. I'll never get to my goal. I will never become enlightened. I will not train incessantly. Without the belief, all hell will break loose. Just had the thought of like this hell that we think will break loose is happening already. all the stress and all the movement and all the wildness and all the uncertainty, and how the now, this moment here, is not the right moment yet. We're not there yet. It's always like later in the mind, in that image of where we're going. So if we have fears about who we are without the story, I need my body to be different, let even that relax, because that's another idea. Oh my God, I must clutch and keep this thought. That's what keeps me on the straight and narrow. Who would I be without that story? Who would I be truly without the thought? You already are. There's this part of us that doesn't have the thought. It's just here in this reality. There's thinking happening, the sound of thinking, the feeling in the body, and there's more than just that, far more. Reality, just being, sensing. Almost, like how can we even know exactly what reality is? But can't be all this stuff that's happening in our head, all that assuming and imagination and learning and wondering and finding out that you're supposed to be certain weights at a certain point that you never believed when you were 2 years old, and then grabbing it, doubling, being tight with it. Who would I be without believing my thoughts, without this story? Who are you? Really, deeply relaxing. What if it's okay to not have the thought? I like noticing, even if I have thoughts of self-improvement, I have all these gaps when I'm not thinking that thought too. So it already happens that I'm not thinking that all the time. And something is still present, alive, available, aware, life, without thought being the number one focus, the most important thing. Who am I without my story? The body needs to be different. I need to lose weight. I need to be smaller. And then all the story that goes with it, which talks about how you're supposed to be eating and what you're supposed to be eating and when you're supposed to be eating. What if we could just take a very deep breath and relax? I like to notice that, grabbing, binge eating or grabbing for information on the internet or seeking or searching or analyzing and all that stuff it's got a stress feel to it. Really has a stress feel to it. Push, 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 push. Run, 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 run. Walk fast. It's not exactly peaceful. Train, train, train. So without the story and everything that I do, because I think this isn't acceptable, it's not right, this that I am is not right, who would I be without that self-improvement? I mean, no improvement is needed if I don't even have the thought that whatever's here should be different. This isn't it. Who am I? Who are we without the story? The body needs to be different, or anything needs to be different than it is. Astonishing. Like silent, wordless, motionless, need-free, this open, free to move about and go anywhere and do anything and rise up however this one does it. Feeling the mystery of reality and even the answer to the question, who are you? Very unknown. It's mysterious. What is a person? What is a human being? What is a thought? Who would you be without the story, I need to lose weight in this moment? Just letting it all rest, letting it all be, letting it all go, not pushing towards it and grabbing it or avoiding it and leaning away from it. Here I am, making sure that I'm not having the thought. Neither one. Just being present. No should. No shouldn't. Unknown. I've heard in Zen they speak about the don't know mind with a capital D and a capital K. Don't know mind. The wonder of that. The peace of that. The just sort of joyful openness of that. Nothing required at all. Could it be that is who I am? That is who we all are. Letting thought do what it does. That's okay that it's doing that. Great that it's there. But it's not the truth with a capital T. Because how could it be if I'm just in my imagination, just talking about the story of how it shouldn't be the way it is? And worth saying the turnarounds, it should be the way it is. Here it is. It should be just like this. And actually finding peaceful, genuine, open-minded examples. It should be just this way. It's such a quiet moment. And if the body should be this way, allowing it to be that way for a moment and finding out how could it be good that it's just like this. How could it be fun that it's like this? Noticing it may not matter one way or the other, whatever way it is. Temporary, impermanent. My thinking shouldn't be the way it is. That isn't even really true because it's the way it is. It's just not telling us the whole truth. It's just full of ideas and predictions and memories, often going from past to future to future to past very rapidly. Lots of images. Is that reality? So there's my thinking doing what it does. It maybe should, if my body should be different, lighter, less weight, less heavy, stronger, firmer. Maybe my thinking could have some less weight, kind of firmer, relaxed, lighter, less intense, less heavy. Just treating my thoughts as if they are just simply not so heavy, dense, thick, tight, or flabby, whatever the words that we use in language. My thinking be like that. Treat my thinking just more openly. Notice how reality treats your thinking with very open acceptance. Just rest, beauty, allowing it to be there unconditionally, knowing it's really not that important. And you could say, well, maybe it's very important because it clouds how we see things, or it causes so much stress, so much tightness and gripping. Who am I without my story, without my thoughts? So I could take my thinking differently. I could see my thinking or feel my thinking in a different way. Just not so serious. My thinking should be lighter, less weighted, less heavy. And who I am should be exactly as it is. Like just open and relax. Nothing required at all. Nothing required. Imagine that. Not needing to, rush towards something, or just noticing all the activity that we have often when we believe the body should be different than it is, and then all the tightness and sticking to the plan, or throwing out the plan, and just none of that necessary. No wrong way to do it. Noticing, relaxing is so beautiful and tender, and not a mistake to not relax. Seeing that's what happens. Thought goes through. It looks like not relaxing. And reality is just, wow, amazing. So mysterious. Coming back to opening up to reality. This moment, here, now. Not needing to get anywhere in the future or avoid things in this moment. Let me know how it goes. Very, very interesting, isn't it? To imagine what it's like without taking our thoughts seriously, without believing what we're thinking, allowing our thoughts to be just the way they are, not even necessary to have them be different. Just that pause and let an openness or a silence in this moment. How do you think it's more likely that weight will be lost, or the body will be okay the way it is, or just do whatever it needs to do in this world where it's definitely impermanent, so it's going to die? How is it more likely to be for us to be at peace with it if we're at peace in this moment here, just accepting all as it is, or cracking down on it and going to war and making it change? Great question. All right. Let me know how it goes. Lots of love.